Hello, my name is Simon and welcome again to Forex Academy. Today I'm here with a weekly forecast for y'all. I hope you enjoyed the video, and without any more time to waste, let's head to the site. Okay, now that we are on our site, let's head to our calendar and see what we have. Okay, let's go to high impacts. And before I start talking about the news that we're having in this week, I just wanted to share this with y'all. Personally, I don't believe in news because they have temporary impact on each and every commodity and currency that you see out there. Not all of them. When we are talking about commodities and currencies, they are actually in the hands of banks, and banks are not small buyers and sellers. They hold a lot of liquidity for themselves, so they are actually going to affect the market more than you actually imagine. So what I personally think, we are going to have a range movement in this week. As y'all can see, the important news that we have here are actually going to affect the market. So we are going to have a really wild week. But as I've said before, I do not believe in fundamentals, so let's head to technical analysis. Okay, now as you can see, we are on our chart. We are on DXY index, and what I actually understood from this is that in previous week we had a bearish movement to the downside, but what actually takes my eye, what I actually try to pay attention to, is that we have a really great gap in here that the market never moved to the upside to fill it up, and that's the thing I'm afraid of. Okay, now as you can see, we have a lot of lows, actual equal lows down here, and there was actually a lot of liquidity below them. The market just moved to the downside to gather them and then to start moving back to the upside. So what I'm actually thinking about the DXY is that we are going to keep this, or actually let me put it like this, we are going to keep seeing it moving to the upside slowly because of all the money that it has gathered. So my thoughts on this is that it's going to keep moving to the upside with no stop until it actually fills up this gap. And another thing that I see here is that we have a divergence that is going to affect the market, and it's a bullish divergence, so it actually supports the theory that it's going to move to the upside until it fills up this gap. So if dollar keeps moving to the upside, we're going to expect moving to the downside in commodities like gold or currencies like AUDUSD, GBPUSD. They're all going to fall. But what I actually expect from it is that currently it's trying to fill up a little gap that is formed right here, and it filled it up recently at the end of the previous week. But in this week, what I think is that it recently has broken a high before it, and it may actually gather a little bit of its liquidity and power and start moving back to the upside. And this actually affects the market, as I said it, in some commodities like gold. It's actually going to affect the market in a bearish way in some commodities and currencies, as I've mentioned. So that's it for DXY. Let's take a look at gold, for example. Okay, now that we're on gold, let's go to daily. Okay, as you can see, gold kept moving to the upside, just the opposite way that the DXY has moved. And currently what I'm seeing from the MACD is that we are actually having a divergence, a bearish divergence that is currently happening in the market, as you can see it. Let me make it a little bit more obvious. Okay, this divergence is going to affect the market, and it's gonna actually make this commodity to lose its power, or it's better to put it this way, it's bullish power, and we are currently seeing that it has lost a support area and it reacted to it. It probably might move to the upside a little bit and then start to fall down. But this is a daily chart, so the fall down might be a little just below this level because this is a strong support as well. If we head to 1 hour, as y'all can see, we have equal lows right down here that actually hold a lot of money below them. We have a lot of money below this level as well. So what the market is going to do is to obey again another divergence in the market. As you all can see, the market has actually made 2 highs and a higher high after it, and we are currently seeing the MACD going to the downside, and this actually creates us a really beautiful divergence, a bearish divergence that actually supports our theory. So what we are going to expect from gold is that it will move to the downside. Okay, let's head to another one, a really popular one, GBPUSD or British pound per US dollar. If we go to the daily, what we can understand from it is that again we are actually having a divergence, and it's a bearish divergence, but it's passed from it, so it might not have that effect that it had before. But still, another thing that I can understand from it is that we have a really larger divergence, a bearish divergence that is actually going to affect the market. But as you all know, divergences are not enough, they're not signals. So what we are going to do is that we actually can see there was a little bit of an imbalance in daily perspective, and it has been filled. So we can expect that we are going to have a little bit of a bearish movement to the downside, just to take all the money that is gathered below these lows. And personally, what I think is that we have an actual support right down here that is going to support the price to actually lets the price to come reach to it and then move to the upside. For better understanding, if we go to the 1 hour, we can actually predict a little bit of a small movement in the market in the next week. As you all can see, at the end of the week, we can actually see an obvious divergence that is really going to affect the market to move to the downside. And this movement to the downside is just going to be wild. Why? Because it's going to be a really harsh movement, and what I see here is that we have an imbalance right at a good place. One imbalance, the second imbalance is here. These two imbalances are going to help the market, or actually the price of GBPUSD. Let's again take a look at DXY again, so we can analyze a little bit more. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, actually let's go to daily time frame this time. What we had on DXY on daily time frame was a bullish divergence that actually affected the price really good. So it actually was able to move itself to the upside. With this move to the upside, because of this divergence, the market on DXY has formed equal highs. As we all know, equal highs are always going to be taken, but when and how, we don't know. But from what I analyzed on this chart, it shows me that we had a really strong actual resistance that held the price 2 times below it, that actually at the end forced the price to make two equal highs, and then it got broken. And what the market was that to pull back to the area and then to start moving to the upside. And as y'all can see, all these little highs above this high are going to be taken, because the last high that was taken was this one, and this one is going to be taken soon in this week. Okay guys, that's it for our first weekly forecast in a while. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I just wanted to say something as always. Consistency is the key. Have a good time and peace.